I've been made aware that lots of retired TV engineers watch this channel, and I want to ask a question. Why did you get out of the business? Hello. A few things to talk about tonight, if you don't mind. I have done some repairs today, and I have recorded them. I just haven't got time to edit them tonight. It's been a day of call-outs and some nice repairs that I needed to get done. But I thought I'd do a chat because I saw some great comments over the last couple of years from retired engineers that have joined the channel just to see what's happening in 2024 and 2025 as far as TV repairs are concerned. These are guys that got out of the game. Maybe they retired, but I've seen some comments of people that actually left the industry, and I totally get that. So I do want to talk about that. I'm always up front with the cups of coffee. Thank you very much to those people that have bought the channel a cup of coffee this month. Last month we did £210, which is great. That really helps the channel. Some people might think it's not a lot, but honestly, £210 into the channel really does help buy things. We've only done £40 this month. I haven't really punched enough at it, but also at the same time, I completely understand that things are getting, in the UK, probably all over the world, especially with what's going on at the moment. I'm not watching the news. I don't know about you. But the UK's got really expensive. You know, fuel's starting to go up. Shopping, supermarkets, it's going up again. And when it starts to go up, it doesn't stop. It just goes up. And I always get twitchy and nervous when fuel goes up. I watch that. I watch how fuel goes up. The rest of the stuff, like food, I can always make a detour. You know, I can have a cheaper slice of salmon. That's a cheaper slice of cheese. That's what I should have said. I don't know why I said salmon. But thank you for those people that do buy the channel a cup of coffee every month. Just donate what you can, and the PayPal address will come up here. But I understand that things are pretty tough at the moment and blooming frightening. Before I talk about people that have retired, I just want to tell you a funny story. Well, I thought it was funny anyway when I got home, because we work in a business where not many people will see what we do. No, I would say 90% of my stuff is done in this workshop or the other workshop, so customers don't tend to see. Not really in the industry where we can repair at people's houses. I do a few, if it's something that I know, if it's a fault that I know, or if it's a place that's so far away I don't want to go and collect it and come back and go, several times. But very few are done in people's homes now, and I'm sure you can appreciate that. But a young lady who lives just up the road got in contact with me a couple of weeks ago and asked me if I could help her with her TV. It wasn't connecting to the internet. She says it has been connecting to the internet by Wi-Fi and it's just stopped. I asked for the model number of the TV. It was an LG 43-inch. And as soon as she told me the model number, I knew what the problem was, because I've seen a couple of them. The Wi-Fi module inside just dies, and I've got plenty in stock. So actually I said I can come around in half an hour and do it for you, and it won't be terribly expensive. And she was really impressed. Very young lady, very attractive, very nice. And so I was impressed that she was impressed, so I wanted to carry on impressing. I got the part in stock, so I went round to her little flat and started talking to her, and she was asking a lot of questions about how did I get into the business, and how do I know so much about electronics, and how was I able to diagnose over the phone what the problem is. And I was just honest with her. It's just something I've done for several years, and experience, you pick things up. And I said, I've come across this problem before, blah, 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 blah. But she was just intrigued that I could take the back off her TV and I knew exactly what I was doing. I wouldn't go that far, but she thought I did. And so she's bigging me up, and I'm loving the fact that she's bigging me up. She's really impressed. You don't need a soldering iron then, No, nothing like that. It's just a tiny little board. I'm just going to take it out and put you a newish one in. But she is just fascinated, and she's staring at what I'm doing and continuing to ask questions about electronics and my knowledge and how is it I can do this magical thing and repair her TV? I don't think a customer's ever been so interested in my life. But then again, as I said earlier, not many of us are repairing in front of people. And I'm not a big fan of that. Some of you will know I worked on the radio for 40 years. And radio is all about creating a little bit of magic in the studio. What you should never do is invite your friends around to the studio so they see how it's all done. It gives the magic away. And about 20 years ago, bosses started introducing webcams. We'll put a webcam in the studio so people can log in and see. See what? See me press a button? We create all this magic. We create all these sound effects and characters and music and I said, you don't want the listeners just to see we're pressing a button. It's theatre of the mind. Don't do that. So, I kicked off and said, I don't want a webcam. But anyway, so this girl is fascinated with what I'm doing, really bigging me up, really making me feel great. She's a 25-year-old attractive girl making a 62-year-old TV engineer feel really good. And offering me if I want a cup of coffee and all that sort of stuff. She wasn't chatting me up or anything like that. I'm not indicating anything like that, but she was just impressed that somebody in 2025 that lives down the road can come and sort her TV out. But then it all changed. I don't know what she expected to see when I took the back off her TV. But I get the impression, she was rather thinking it was going to resemble something like the USS Starship Enterprise, the engine room. She must have thought there were going to be wires and boards and circuitry and everything all over the place. And, of course, I took the back of her 43-inch LG to reveal two very small circuit boards, one main board and one power board. And that's basically it. And she said a sentence that no man wants to hear. And she said, oh. Sorry. She said, oh, is that it? And I suddenly thought, oh, she expected this to be full of circuitry and electronics, and I was going to do a lot of fiddling around when I just took the back off and swapped that over. And she completely lost interest after that. She never did make me the cup of coffee, but she was grateful that I fixed her TV. So, a bit like the days of radio, keep it secret. Don't let them know how you do it. If they ask you and you've repaired it back in your workshop, tell them you took hours and it was a difficult job and you had to do this. And well, don't lie, but just big yourself up, because we're working in an industry where if we don't big ourselves up, nobody else does. That lady started to, but as soon as the back came off that TV, I think she lost the will to live. She was bitterly disappointed. But anyway, that's one of those stories. So the main topic of conversation, engineers who are leaving the industry. Well, I've only been doing this for 10 or 11 years. And since that 10 or 11 years, a lot of people that I've come to know and respect and buy products from and talk to and get some knowledge from or share bits, they have gone. I class myself in the area that I live now. Let's say I cover a radius of 60 miles. Sometimes it's a bit more. But in that 60 miles, I think I'm the only official one. There are several other people that are repairing for themselves, that watch the YouTube channel and do bits and probably help family. But I think I'm the only one still in the yellow pages. Remember the yellow pages? My boss put an ad in the yellow pages about 20 years ago with a telephone number. And some people, and I'm sure you know these people, they don't throw yellow pages away. If you're not old enough to know what yellow pages are, hate you. But yeah, some people still get the number from the yellow pages and call in. But anyway, yes, so a lot of people have disappeared. I saw a comment from a gentleman, I think it was last week or the week before, and he said he got out of the business about 10 years ago as I was getting in. And I was told by my boss that I was getting in at a good time. I think what my boss meant by that is there's plenty of spare parts around. So I got in the business about, 2013, 2014, around then. I started to take an interest and started to do repairs and join this TV repair company. And of course, plasmas had been around for several years, but it was still new technology. Not many spare parts available. Spare parts were becoming available on eBay. What did we do before eBay? Of course, I've always worked in what I class as the eBay era. A lot of the retired engineers watching this wouldn't have had that luxury of getting those spare parts. But everyone managed to get spare parts one way or another. And I do completely understand it. The reason I'm talking about this, I do understand why people 10 years ago suddenly thought, oh, this is getting cheap. It's getting nasty. TVs have come down from £600. They're selling them in the supermarkets for a couple of £100. Probably not 10 years ago, but prices did drastically come. And it was getting cheaper and it was getting nastier. And a lot of people, and I do get this, got bored with just doing the board repairs, just replacing boards and swapping boards. A lot of fun. And I got this when I first started, was taking the back of a TV, a good plasma that would have a lot of circuitry in it. And you really had to know your stuff to diagnose which board you were looking at. Because a good plasma from 15 years ago, 20 years ago, could have had 5, 6, maybe 7 full-size boards in there. And if it just wasn't turning on, you really had to do some troubleshooting. You had to do some voltage testing. And I think it was a lot more rewarding doing that sort of stuff. I'm as guilty as anybody these days. Yes, obviously replacing backlights is something that you just have to do. It's not as common as it was 5 years ago, but it still does happen. Replacing boards for me is the easy option, because it saves me money and saves me time. If I can knock an hour off a day and take the drone out and go and do some flying or drinking or walking the dog, then I will do. I'm past the stage of oh yes, but wouldn't it be much better if I just tested a few voltages and see if, on certain things I do, and I still get a kick out of it. So yes, I get why engineers quit the business 10 years ago and stopped, because the work didn't slow up. I mean, surely I'm proof of the fact that work didn't slow. Well, it didn't stop. It may have slowed up, but it didn't stop. But I have seen the writing on the wall for myself. Now, by that, I'm not trying to be dramatic and sensationalist and saying, well, my days are numbered. They probably are, but I will keep going in some form of another. As I say, I'm 62 now, so I only have to get a few more years out of this. And hopefully I'll go and retire and do something else. But I hope there's going to be enough work for me. If not in TV repairs, then maybe I'll carry on doing some other bits and bobs. Of course, as a lot of you know, this is a TV repair channel, but I'm also repairing other things. And when Mike comes over, we tend to juggle other bits, if you know what I mean. And thank you very much for all those people. I've made some nice comments. I don't know if you've seen the videos yet, but I decided to buy some stuff of interest for me off eBay. And the first few days was absolutely disastrous. It was, and there was a CD recorder that was an American Voltage, which wasn't described. Everything I've bought from eBay has had a problem which wasn't put in the description, which has made it almost impossible, if not difficult, to repair. Don't worry, you haven't missed out on that CD recorder. We're still waiting for correct parts to come through. I did order some parts, but I ordered the wrong ones. My fault. So I think we've solved that. And there are some more eBay things, eBay repairs to come. So thank you very much to those people that have got involved and commented on the little eBay bits. I didn't think that was going to work. Whenever I've done DVD recorders, record players... Oh, I've got a question for you. Are you ready? This will test your electronics knowledge. This is a common fault, apparently. I found this out from Mike. And I'm picking up a Dual record deck tomorrow. You know Dual, the hi-fi company? D-U-A-L. Isn't it? Or is it D-U-E? No, it's D-U-A-L, I think. Anyway, I'm picking up quite a modern, nice record deck with an Autophon Concorde cartridge, which is one of my favourite cartridges. I like them. I like the design and I like the sound of them. And I'm picking one up really cheap tomorrow because the turntable's playing backwards. Speed's fine, it's just backwards. And I was racking my brains when I saw this on Marketplace. And Mike's told me, he said, oh, that's a simple fix. It's a... So what is it? Answers in the comments. Don't Google it. I don't know if the answer's on Google. Maybe it is. Not sure. So what is the answer? Dual turntable, common fault, all of a sudden started playing backwards. The turntable, the platter. I hate calling it a platter. I think that's an American thing. I still call it a turntable. Turntable's playing in reverse, backwards. What's causing that? Your technical answers in the comments, please. And I think that's just about it. That's all I wanted to say. So yes, to those engineers that got out, I completely get it. I do understand. Oh, sorry, I didn't say. The writing was on the wall for me because somebody asked me to repair a fairly new, less than a year old Vestel TV last week. Luckily, I could repair it, but I discovered something which really shocked me. I don't know. Well, Vestel must be making their own TV still in Turkey, in the big labs there, but their designs have gone very UMC style. And what I've seen with this one, which was about 9 or 10 months old, Vestel are now gluing the screens down. I don't think they're doing it to annoy TV engineers. They're doing it because it looks better. From an aesthetic point of view, it does look better. If they can glue the screen down, there's absolutely no bezel. So I got this TV in for repair, and to fix it, I had to remove the screen. And then I suddenly realised I can't remove the screen. Well, I probably could, but it would take ages. There's a risk of cracking it. And the fact it was a brand new TV. The fault with the TV, the reason why I had to potentially remove the screen, as there was a fly behind there. They were watching a movie and they could see this fly moving behind the screen, and eventually the fly just stopped and died and dropped, and it just left a little black dot in the middle of the screen at the bottom. Some people are quite fussy, and I thought, well, to do that I've got to take the screen out. Then I realised it was glued down, and I thought, oh no, this is too risky. If this is where we're going now, if all Vestel TVs, maybe it was just this model, it was a Fire TV, Hitachi Vestel Fire TV. But I suddenly thought, how do I get the screen out? How do I get the fly out? If I can't get the screen out, I can't get the fly out. But when I was transporting it to this place, I turned the TV technically upside down. And so when I plugged it in and looked for the fly, it had gone. I don't know where it had gone, but it had gone. She showed me a photograph of it. You could see it at the bottom. But as soon as it arrived here, transporting it, probably going over a few potholes. Don't get me started on those. And the fly had disappeared. So yes, the writing's on the wall. If Vestel are going to... I never thought for some reason that Vestel would glue their screens down, but they have. Whether they're going to do it on all the models or not, don't know. Hope they don't, because that'll mean the writing's on the wall when they start coming in 2 or 3 years' time. It's just going to be too difficult. Maybe there'll be a way around it by then. Well, 2 or 3 years' time, blimey. And now I might not be doing it then. And also, very, very impressed that, retired TV engineers are watching the channel. Thank you. I'm sure I'm not teaching you anything, and I'm sure you're not learning anything from me, but it's nice that you do watch the stuff, and I get it. Just want to find out how engineers are dealing with modern-day TVs. Well, you see. Sometimes we're dealing with it, sometimes we're not. But yes, I get it. I get why the engineers have have disappeared, but so many of the engineers of the last not couple of years, probably 5 years, have disappeared. If you're still watching this, and of course you are, I want to recommend a couple of guys, a couple of YouTube channels that do some stuff. I'm quite interested in what they do. They're very good in what they do. And they repair. They don't touch TVs, I don't think. But there's Chaz Large. I don't know Chaz. I don't know any of these guys. Chaz Large. So I'm going to put his details up on screen now. This is Chaz. Really great engineer. Knows his stuff from video recorders to DVD players to amplifiers. And I like watching Chaz. I've only just picked up on this channel, so I picked up on Chaz's channel about a month ago. So please, go and subscribe, because he deserves more subscribers than he has at the moment. And if you like my channel, I think you'll really like his. And the other one is he's called Spare Time Repair. I don't know the guy's name. As I say, I don't know these people. I've just come across them on YouTube over the last couple of months. This guy tends to repair a lot of CD players. And maybe he's doing a few other bits. But actually, I don't really touch CD player. Oh, didn't I do a CD player the other day? No, that's a DVD player, which is different. So this is Spare Time Repair. Again, really should have more subscribers than he has. He's a British guy. I think he's just moved to America. I don't know anything about him, but please go and subscribe. Say hello. Tell him the TV repair community and Alan sent them over. I think you'd like these channels. If you like what I do, you'll definitely like what these two guys do, because they're really good at what they do. Very interesting. So please give them a subscribe and say hi. And that's about it. Once again, if I've entertained, educated, or made you watch a video and you'd like to buy the channel a cup of coffee, please do. It really does help keep us going. And we've done £40, I think. I think it was £44 we've done this month so far. It'd be nice to get that up a little bit. So the details, the PayPal details coming up on screen. And thank you very much for watching me rant about nonsense for the last 25 minutes, 22 and a half minutes. Back with the repairs tomorrow. Take care.